Well, I'm noticing that, so I have this experience when you just, like when you ask the question, do you see color? So I can, or there's an experience that I'm right here and there without words, basically, without language or giving attention to thought. It just is. So then there's there's, it still feels as if that experience is being experienced by something. Um, and because oftentimes when it's said like a me, I don't feel like there's like a me here. I don't feel like, and even when like even like the I am, I feel like, well, it's just kind of am. I don't. Really, when I like consider it, that's the experience. But I guess there's got to be this. So at your point, you're identifying when you look out and there's just an experiencing. Is there a sense of where that experiencing is happening?
No, no, no.
So it's just experiencing because that's it. That's where it begins and ends.
Yeah, but even see, even when I use the word experiencing, that's a pointer. That's a pointer.
Right, because there's no word. It's just this is it.
Yeah,
This.
you can't even say there's consciousness, there's awareness, there's beingness, there's here-ness, there's noun. Can't even say that.
So when you say there's a me, and in my case, there must be a me still that I'm experiencing. It's just I must have this sense that something is experiencing rather than just a wordless.
Good. Now, here's what I want you to see. The mind just said all of that.
Right,
That's all nonsense.
right.
The mind said all of that and is believing it.
Mhm.
That's all nonsense. None of that's true. Zip. That's part of the story, Jen. You can't, look, it's not going to get you anywhere if you don't believe 95% of what the mind is saying, but you believe 5% of what it's saying. I'm talking about the whole 100% of what the mind is saying is not true. Zero. Now, come to see that. Come to see that. The mere question that you asked still rests on an assumption that there's got to be something here that's experiencing. No, there doesn't. It totally doesn't. It's only mind that says that. See, you got to stop believing it, Jenny. Stop. Something else gets noticed. Even mind will say, I am this beingness. I am conscious. I am this awareness. Mind will say that. And go on, go on.
I was just gonna say my experience now is like that there's like a turning towards something, like I'm driving my car and the remembering or comes up, of the wordless or how, and I just turn towards it, and or while you're talking or when I'm listening to you.
Good enough.
Yeah, but it's
Good
at
enough.
the experience, my
Good enough.
turn towards it, you
Good
know.
enough. Okay. Now, that can seem like the initial experience. Okay. There's like it seems like there's a turning away from the mind, and now we're turning to this. Yeah. But you have to understand that's great. I'm going to applaud the hell out of that, right? No more interested in that. Sometimes you'll hear me say, have you had enough yet? Seriously. Have you had enough yet of the mind? Have you had enough?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So if you've had enough, turn away. It's like a 180-degree turn. Now, that still sounds dualistic, does it not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like something is now becoming aware of this something that's aware. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that can seem like.
Wait, say that with something is becoming aware of this, something that's aware. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Just think that for a sec. It still
Okay.
implies, can you hear it still implies two?
Mm-hmm.
How can awareness be aware of itself unless it was split? Did you hear that? How could awareness be aware of itself unless it was split, divided?
So it makes me what reminded me of just the happening. So it happened. It's just happening but
Good. I'm not discouraging that turn.
right.
In fact, I'm applauding the hell out of it. Yeah. But initially, there's still a notion of, even when it turns, of being aware of. Okay. Now, at that point, just dive into, oh, this is where it gets difficult. Okay. But dive into the actual beingness, not noticing the beingness or being aware of the beingness. Become it, dive into it until duality disappears. And what will happen, yeah, the mind will shut down because it's only mind that creates duality. Mind will shut down and you'll be resting in your true nature. As soon as the attention shifts away from mind to what's this? And when absolute attention, again, it sounds like being aware of, that's okay. To start with, that's okay. Yeah. When it shifts away from mind and shifts to this, the mind just goes boom. Interesting. Is that all it took to shut that up, the mind up? You know, that fuels mind is attention. Oh my God. Attention. In the absence of attention, it's like it doesn't exist. So it's like the attention or the awareness of it shifts. I'm telling a story, okay? All right. And it shifts from only being aware of the content of the envelope or the content of the bubble or the content of the mind. It shifts from that to what's this? See, now it becomes direct, Jenny. What's this? Now the inquiring has started. Prior to, what's this? There's been no inquiry into true self, I'm talking about. No inquiry. All we've been doing is spending all this time coming to discover and see what you're not, which has to happen. You can't not but happen that way. Otherwise, what you're not is going to be assumed to be here and it's going to go looking for what it is. Can you hear the insanity of that? Tell me that's not true. That's why we get stuck. Been on this path for so long. What am I missing? We'll say the me, or we'll say the mind. What am I missing? They say it's just here now. Well, I'm here now. Yeah. And that is claiming ownership of being here now is a thought that can't experience here now. It's not an entity. The pseudo me is not an actual entity. It's not a being. It's not conscious and it's not aware. It's a story. The dream character in the dream when you go to sleep at night. What the hell's the dream character in the dream aware of? Remember, it's a dream, right? What's it aware of? What's actually happening in the dream? Nothing. Not one single solitary thing is actually happening. That's why we call it a dream.
Like when you talk, it's not like with thought. It's like I have these experiences like you go like it's not like I get it like with my mind. It's just like I don't know how to explain it. It's like
Yeah, no, you explained it well. That's right. Great. Great. So what happens, Jenny? All that's happening, and lucky you, by the way, very rare that people even experience that. Yeah. So all that's happening, there's like it's like it seems like there's a toing and froing. Yeah. It's like clear up, caught up again. Clear up, mind is there, and it feels like there's a me here again. Oh my God. Then clear. That is occurring. Do you know how many people experience that? Just that. Very rare. Extraordinarily rare. Yeah. But then we experience that, yeah. And then when the me's there, we go, oh, why, how come? Yeah, why won't it kind of just do that? You know, right? That's just the last vestiges of mind. It's okay.
I love your little flower analogy for that one, Terry.
Which one's that? I can't remember.
Your flower analogy, like the flower's starting to open and it closes and it starts, and then eventually it just gets more and more. And that's how it's been here, you know, it just starts open.
Yeah.
And then you said eventually it just goes boom, like open.
Yeah, eventually did you get that, Jenny? What Donna just said?
I understand. I got what you said. I was thinking of this one thing I read where Nisargadatta, he says the fruit ripens slowly but then falls fast, which isn't exactly what you were saying, but I always comes back to my head.
It's pretty much exactly what I'm saying. Notice the attention, Jen. Where does it want to go? Is it still inclined to go to mind? Is it still interested in thoughts? Just notice. Just notice where it's going. If you're noticing thoughts, that's where the attention's going. Still, and if that is the case, still looking in the mind for the answer. Now, when it absolutely dawns on you, the answer's not in there. The answer's not in the mind. It's not in there. When that fully dawns on you, what are you left with?
What was always right there, what just was right there.
Just this.
Yeah.
Okay, now, what's this? Because up to that point, this has always it's always assumed to be me. It's not the me. If I go out on a limb, yeah, it's the you. That you're looking for. Your true nature, you. Not the me. The me is totally fabricated. Totally. Just see where the interest goes, Jen. Just, you'll find, you know, when you talked about that swinging, yeah? Or when you swing and there's an absence of meing and a personal person and so on, yeah, you'll find that there's just no attention there. You'll find the attention's here. It's like you arrive here. Now the question should be the last question, by the way. And you shouldn't be waiting for an answer. Now the question should be, what's this? An answer won't come. But now it's just, everything is just focused, if you like, here. In the absence of mind now. There's no thinking about it. Zero, just you know, and even that happens, there might still be a little bit of mind that comes in whilst there's, I don't know what this is. Oh, seems still, seems quiet. There'll still be a little bit of the mind. Can you hear that? Yeah. Just pay no mind and just dive in, Jenny. Oh, that sounds like I'm asking a person to do that, and I'm not. Yeah. It's this simple. The only thing that complicates everything is the mind and what's arising in the mind. You know, that mind that you can't stop. What the hell are you doing taking that personally? Seriously. It's just happening. I know you've worked out. I know, just from your line of inquiry, Jenny, I know you already know. You can't affect it. You can't alter it. That's just what's happening in the mind. If we could affect it or alter it, the first thing we would do is turn it off. That's the first thing we would do. Turn it off. I'm having a break. I'm going fishing. Mm-hmm. Off. What would that experience be like? If you could just switch it off, if you could, it'd be pretty quiet, wouldn't it? Imagine. Dead, quiet, still. No drama, no agitation, no personal person being created. Just this pure beingness, consciousness, awareness. Again, labels, but so this beingness, Jen, that we've labelled me our whole life is not the me. It's not. Now let's find out what it is. But you've got to absolutely know first, it's not the me. If you don't know that, it'll still be me trying to dive in there. Do you understand?